This is the Front Stretch on AM 590, brought to you by Joe's Karting, online at joeskarting.com.
Well, the flagman's giving us a signal of just one more turn left to go. It is Salvage by Kaziski Auto Parts. Looking for quality used parts to get your car or truck back on the road? Give an experienced salesperson at Kaziski Auto Parts a call today and let them help you find the right parts to get you back on the road. Call Andrew or any one of the great salespeople at Kaziski Auto Parts a call today, 731-4592. You can also stop by in person, 50th and I Street right here in Omaha. As you just heard, Andrew was with us for the interview segment, as we had talked to him on Tuesday night when we sat down, or was it Monday night? Monday night we recorded Justin, and then Andrew took off and went racing Tuesday morning. So we'll try to get you an update on how Andrew's doing. But before we get to all of that, some tough news to talk about. Close for Buddy and I. We've been kind of following a little bit of an unfortunate story over the last couple of days. Friday night at Crawford County Speedway, one of the consistent racers there, Tom Summerfield, also known as Tomcat, who races at Harlan on Saturday nights, was loading up his car, had finished loading his car, and was putting some tires up on the back of his hauler, slipped, fell, landed on his head. He was life-flighted to Omaha, I believe it was UNMC, where it sounds like he has lost all feeling and movement from the chest down.
One of my nephews, my nephew's sister Chelsea, she had posted on Facebook, had told me that when he fell, he landed the wrong way, falling off the top of the truck. He crushed a vertebrae. They put him into surgery, and as of right now, his prognosis is 1% chance to ever walk again. Tom Summerfield, to know Tom Summerfield, he's a great driver, one of the nicest guys I've ever met in sport compacts, and one hell of a driver. One
of the first times I actually got a chance to talk to him was Friday before the races. We sat down and talked for a little bit. Just about his season, his career, and we joked a little bit, and I said, when you going to step up a class? And he said, when you going to bust out the checkbook?
Well, he's talking to the wrong guy talking to you, because you ain't got a checkbook.
Yeah, so, all the love and prayers go out to Tom's family. This is going to be a very difficult time for him. I hope that this is just a misdiagnosis. This you never want to see that. So we're gonna try to do something special this Friday.
Something for Tomcat.
We'll keep you updated on the Facebook page. We'll set up. Hopefully the FAMA will set up something to help offset some of the medical costs. Because it isn't cheap to be life-flighted. I was hearing numbers, and holy cow! And he's gonna have some serious work ahead of him. But the good news is, 1% is still a chance. And I had a very good friend I was working with for a long time who had a 1% chance of walking. And I'm very proud to say that he just got rid of his canes a couple of weeks ago, and he is walking on his own. So 1% is still a chance, and we hope the best for Tom and the family. If you guys ever need anything, reach out to us on the Facebook page. We will be there, and we will help out any way we can. We want to support the local community, especially those drivers that are in need.
I actually want to send a shout-out to Crawford County Speedway on how professional they were in handling the situation at hand. It was hot, it was humid, it was muggy. Some people may have thought that they had the right to leave the races. They actually parked the 7 or 8 late models out there on the front straightaway, red flagged the race for obvious reasons with Tomcat's situation at hand, and the fans didn't leave. That spoke true testament as to the quality of fans that we have at Crawford County Speedway. The officials, they worked diligently and hard. They had rescue squad right there. Boom. It was just one of the best. If you weren't paying attention to that goofy announcer at Crawford County Speedway,
that guy,
I'm telling you, if you weren't paying attention and didn't hear that there was an incident in the pits,
Well, they did stop the racing. They parked the late models because it was just before the late model feature. They started to come around for one lap, and they threw out the caution, and they stopped the racing because They didn't want something to happen on the track, and the safety officials were already preoccupied.
That's pretty standard for the racetrack.
So that was great, and Crawford County handled it. And I got to tell you, I completely with you. I was amazed at the amount of people that showed up on Friday night because of how hot it was. It was hot. It was muggy. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And people came out in droves, and that happened all around the community, and that just shows all the great support we've got for the dirt track in this area, and we got to keep it up. We got to keep these tracks going. I know I've heard about a couple of tracks that are having attendance issues. You got to get out there and support your local tracks, or
Absolutely.
it's going to be gone, and you're going to be thinking, what am I going to do on a Friday night?
I actually, we were talking about this right before we came into the studio this morning. I had made a little boy's night. He was almost choked up because if to know me, I've been running with the most used up, holy, ragtag, falling apart racing gloves. And I've had them for, 3 years or so. They got some wins. They got some top 10s, top 5s on.
You made that plural.
What's that?
The wins. They got, wasn't it a win?
I got heat race wins and sea feature wins.
Okay.
Come on, get real here. But, to me, a race is a race. I don't care what.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
So,
but we got to keep wrap this up because we got to get to our big story.
I ended up signing these gloves for this little boy at Crawford County Speedway, and he was almost speechless. And then I just took my payout check and told him, go get me a new set of gloves.
Yeah, it's about time you got some new gloves. Those were looking pretty holy.
Yeah.
So the big story, you've been talking about it. We talked about it the whole way out here. You got a press release on it. What's going on with the sprint cars at Eagle?
This is huge. Just like any other class in racing, they want to try to make it affordable for every class, but it's not a matter. It's just a matter of time, I should say, until we start seeing big money get into every single class. And what's happened is it's now come back to the sprint cars, the 360 division at Eagle, and it's kind of nipped them in the bud. And the problem that I see that the sprint cars are having, these, Jack Dover's in this field, Stu Snyder's in this field, a lot of great drivers. But, here a few weeks ago when we interviewed Jack Dover, I think he quoted me his motor was like $40,000 or $50,000.
No, it was, it's 30 brand new.
Okay, 30 brand new, yeah. And then it was like 5 or 10 to rebuild.
Because he had to rebuild it about 7 times one season.
Now here, and I'm not going to quote anybody on this, but here's what I've been told, is that you can buy a brand new sprint car roller. I mean, tires, wings, shocks, the whole ball of wax, $9,500. That's not counting that $30,000, $40,000 motor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, an IMCA Sport Mod like I drive, brand new roller, $18,000, $19,000. Here's the problem. That sprint car pays a lot more, whereas the Sport Mod pays a lot less, but the problem is now we're getting 50, 60 sport mods, but we're only seeing 20, 25 sprint cars. And even then, some of those guys don't show up every week, so sometimes it's not out of, it's nothing unusual to see 15 or 18 cars. So what Roger Hayden at Eagle Raceway has done, said he's gone to IMCA, said, look, we do have a diehard sprint car fan base, because we do here. Mm-hmm. The sprint cars do bring something to Eagle Raceway, but to control the cost of what these guys are spending in their cars and whatnot, he's going to bring in this 305 Sprint Series, or this sprint car sanctioning. So there's a lot going on here. It's relatively new, and then on our Sling and Dirt segment during the middle of the week, I actually want to get a hold of Roger and have him do an interview with us where he can give us a little bit more insight. But this is big because 360 sprint cars have been around here for, 20 years. You've seen the 360s at Eagle. They put on a hell of a show. They are bad fast.
Yeah.
But just like anything else, when the cost gets so exuberant, you're going to have to do something.
It's hopefully everything works out. We always want it to work out for the best. But it sounds like the 360s are going to be done at Eagle, and they're going to move to 305s.
It's called a 305 Race Saver, but basically it's a 305 engine.
It's same body and everything. It's just a smaller engine, a little bit more cost effective. Yep. So that's it right there. We'll keep you up to date as this stuff goes on. And you referenced it a little bit. For 2 weeks in a row, we've recorded a dirt track only. About 30 to 45 minutes.
It's raw, unedited.
I don't edit it at all. It's all what you hear, and it's podcast only. Did you get the text message from Andrew earlier? We'll have to talk about the story on another time because we're running out of time here. But check out our Facebook page. Once we get all the kinks worked out in this thing, we're going to get it posted. We've done it 2 weeks in a row and it didn't make it to air, but we're going to do it again this week. We'll talk all dirt track. We'll try to get Roger Hayden on so he can talk firsthand. And something I want to implement into that a little bit is to have a racing personality, whether it be a driver or whether it be a track promoter, someone like we had Joe Koziski in on this week, somebody who's got racing experience and can sit there and kind of add another personality to it.
And the nice thing about this is that when you listen to the Slinging Dirt, like I said, there's no time limit. It's raw. It's unedited. We break down, the western Iowa tracks one week, and then we go over to eastern Nebraska and do their eastern Nebraska track. So,
and we'll update on point series and any kind of drivers
results,
we know,
everything.
So, make sure to listen to that. We'll post it usually Thursday mornings because we record it Wednesday night. We'll post it Thursday morning so that you can listen to it Thursday while at work or in your car or whatever on your Facebook page, and then you can get updated before you head to the track on Friday night and watch all this stuff unfold for another week. So get over to our Facebook page. You can check it out there. This week, the NASCAR boys, they are headed to, I've lost my place where we're at here.
Seems like typical being on a Sunday morning.
They're heading to Loudon. They're going to New Hampshire for the Lennox Industrial Tools 301. Do you want to do picks? We've got about 30 seconds. Or, you know what? Let's tack with the picks. Where are you racing at Friday night? Crawford again?
Crawford County. Saturday night, we're going to take a break from Eagle, and I think we might make a surprise appearance at a new track.
Well, let's keep up to the Facebook page. We'll keep you up to date where we're at, what we're doing. So, best of luck with everybody out there. We hope everyone has a great racing week. Keep it safe. Keep her low. Keep it tight. And have a good night. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. This has been the Front Stretch, and we'll see you at the track.